Bentley for Man Azure. Azure roughly translates to blue. Now, is it a blue fragrance? We shall find out. The analysis will follow after the presentation. The presentation for Bentley for Man Azure is as follows. It comes in a navy blue box, as you can see, just like the other offerings from the Bentley for Men line. Similar packaging, but just a different color. You've got the insignia here, you've got the concentration here, which is through the toilet. This is available in two sizes, 60ml and 100ml. And you've got the general details of the barcode and the batch code below, the ingredients listed at the back. That's about it for the box. The box is actually really nice. The color combo captures the fragrance nicely for me. The compartment is the same as other Bentley for Men. See, you cannot lift the fragrance with the lid. It's already coming off. That's about the box. And as for the bottle, even though the lid is not a snug fit, see, it's coming off. Never try lifting it because it's gonna fall off, because this is extremely heavy. It follows the usual Bentley for Man presentation. Has a thick glass, and on top it has a metal rim with the Bentley insignia. You've got Bentley insignia on top. The lid looks like a gear, and you've got Bentley fragrances engraved inside. Okay, the bottle is shaped like an eye. Okay, and you've got the batch code and barcode below. The only difference is in the difference of its juice color, and also aesthetically this looks more pleasing to the eye, to me personally, because it has a nice spectrum of colors coming through. It starts off gray and transparent on top, almost resembling the color of water on top, and as it goes down it becomes blue. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but aesthetically it's really appealing and pleasing to the eye. That's about it for the presentation. As for its details, this was launched back in 2014, and this fragrance was supposed to give you the feeling of coasting along or riding along, I think, with a Bentley car along the shores of the sea coast, and you have this nice breeze of air coming from the seaside hitting you. That's the kind of feeling it was supposed to evoke in you. Okay, now the notes breakdown is really interesting. It has a long notes. Let's just get into it. You'll know what I'm talking about. It has top notes of pineapple, violet leaf, tangerine, and bergamot. As for the mid notes, it has paprika, lavender, tea, clary sage. For base notes, it has tonka beans and cashmere wood. Now this is characterized as a citrusy, fruity, sweet fragrance, and I would say they're almost spot on with the classification, because this to me is Bentley's take on the blue DNA of fragrances that has currently captivated the fragrance market. I couldn't find who the perfumer was, but that's about all the preliminary details we need to know for the presentation. Let's get into the breakdown. Let's spray this and start talking about it, like I always do. Has a nice sprayer, nice distribution. Now, this is one of those scents that requires 10 to 15 seconds to settle on your skin, as it has a alcohol pop at the beginning. In the opening, the violet leaf is very prominent, and it shortly is joined by the synthetic pineapple note, which is not too realistic. Midway through, I get a bit of a yuzu note here, like the ise miyake. It is not as fresh as that one, but it does bear some resemblance. I think it's because the bergamot mixing with tangerine, or it could be the lavender coming into play and mixing with the citrusy accords. That could be the one giving that vibe. In the dry down, the sweet and soft, mellow cameo appearance of tonka bean is made, and at this time, at this point, the fragrance is really close to the skin, so people have to really come close to you. Now, by profile, this is a very ozonic and airy fragrance. It does not scream for attention. It is, if I were to describe this fragrance, I would describe it as timid, reserved, sweet blue fragrance for the mature crowd. That's how I would describe it. Let's go to the pros and cons of this. As of now, the biggest con, I think, is its price proposition. As of now, this goes for £22 in Notino at UK, last time I checked. So this is an excellent value if you're looking to invest that kind of money on a casual fragrance. Secondly, as it is not a room filler, this is great for non-offensive situations and a great option for the subtle and safe individuals. So great for office wear. Thirdly, there's no thirdly. That's all I have for you. Let's go to the cons. Firstly, it's a weak performer, does not perform as much, does not have a beastly radius of projection, not in its initial 40 minutes or when it slowly hits its dry down point. Additionally, it's a mature aquatic fragrance without that sophisticated edge. Thirdly, it does not have that X factor to blow me away. It's very generic and forgettable, to be honest. And if you're someone like me who's coming to this fragrance after sniffing Bentley for Men and Bentley for Men Intense, you'll be coming here with a lot of expectation, and quite frankly, it does not live up to that in terms of quality of the juice and the profile of it. Bentley for Men Eau de Toilette and Bentley for Men Intense are borderline niche quality juice, and this is average at best. That's what I think of this. This is more like Timo Werner in his first season at Chelsea, with some individual glances, individual bursts of brilliance, but actually failing to deliver where he should as a striker, which is finishing. This fragrance exactly is like that to me, because it will have those momentary moment of sillage when people will get subtle whiffs of you and compliment you, but that is, I think, that is something that will happen rarely, not quite often, because it's really soft and really mellow. That's all I have to say for this, and on to my ratings. Also, the reason why I'm covering a blue fragrance is because we are the Champions League winners. Chelsea has done it. Blue is my spirit animal. Do let me know which football club you support in the comment section below. On to my ratings. For the first category of my rating, which is uniqueness, I gave it 6.5. Now this fragrance DNA is a bit different from your typical freshie and tries to go in between the conventional freshy and blue junction, but fails to quite get there. Nonetheless, a very pleasant scent. For that attempt, such was my rating. As for my second category, which is smell, I think this DNA fails to stand out from the crowd, as the DNA is very forgettable and generic. Also, it does not have the Sauvage-like vibe to warrant a mass-pleasing reaction. So for that, 6. And for performance, I think this is where it really took a hit for me. On my skin, this had a projection of 40 minutes and its longevity was around 4 to 5 hours. For its after the projection phase subsides, this tends to come really close to the skin, so 5.5 for performance. As for versatility, I see this primarily as a summer daytime wear. The seasons to rock it would be spring and summer warmer days. Not in the extreme heat though, as this fragrance is really ozonic and generic, so it will die out in extreme heat. Maybe the temperature control conditions are better for this. And by the token of the same logic, this is not ideal for winter because it will fail to stand out in the dead of winter. The situations where I see this relevant would be non-offensive situations like office wear and casual wear like going to the gym, or when you're out and about running chores like grocery shopping. The ideal age to rock this would be 25 and above. I fail to see how this would appeal to a younger and jovial audience, as this DNA walks completely in the different direction of your Azure Wanted, Versace Eros, and even Paco Rabanne Invictus for that matter. So for that, versatility would be 6, which brings the average rating to 6 in my books, which is slightly above average, but a decent performance at the rating at that in this price category. And as always, the Frankenstein has spoken.